Hey friends, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I am Crystal and that lady over there is my business partner, Kelly. And this entire series is called Fix Your Procrastination Blogging Edition. The entire purpose of this playlist is to help bloggers just like you understand something really, really important. And that is, number one, we all struggle with procrastination at some point in time, but procrastination is usually not about laziness. Most of the time, there's an actual reason underneath it, and there's a pattern that's happening. And once you identify the real problem, you can usually apply the correct fix and start moving forward.
Today, we want to talk about a version of procrastination that a lot of bloggers are dealing with right now, especially in today's online environment. This is the procrastination that happens when everything feels important. Last week, we talked about how you want to grow everything, but now what about every task on your list is important? You have that. Your blog feels important. Pinterest feels important. SEO feels important. Reels feel important. You feel like, right, that FOMO happens. You need to do all of the things, email, products, YouTube, old content, AI, all of the things. And eventually your brain hits a wall because it can't genuinely process that many competing priorities at the same time.
So let's start with the symptom, because that is what most bloggers actually feel first, is the symptom, right? Just when we're sick, we feel the symptom first. You wake up already overwhelmed. You sit down to work, your brain immediately starts bouncing everywhere, and you think, I should probably write a blog post today. Wait, but I need to post on Facebook. But wait, but Pinterest traffic dropped. I need to do something about that. Oh, wait. And I need to send an email. And maybe I should finally make that product. And before you even begin working, you already feel mentally exhausting. That's not going to make progress.
What's really interesting is from the outside and, the conversation that we tell ourselves, it looks like productivity because you are thinking about your business all day. You are trying to figure things out. You are consuming information, making plans, maybe even doing some work. But internally, your brain is overloaded because it keeps trying to solve 15 priorities simultaneously. And eventually, that creates what a lot of people experience as procrastination, that freeze, that fight or flight. You avoid work. You spend the day bouncing from thing to thing. You go clean out a cabinet in your kitchen that you cleaned out last week, right? Or you start doing those teeny tiny, low-risk tasks because your brain cannot settle on what actually matters most.
Yep. Now, here's the important part. The real cause usually is not lack of motivation. And honestly, it's often not even lack of discipline either. The real problem is decision overload. It's true. Your brain is trying to constantly evaluate what is the best thing that I could spend my time doing right now. What do I do? What do I work on? So many bloggers tell us, I don't know what to work on next. And when too many things feel equally urgent, the brain struggles to prioritize effectively.
Yeah, and it really happens in blogging pretty consistently because there are so many voices online telling you what matters most, and there's so many things that all seem to matter, right? One person tells you short form, another one tells you SEO, another one says email is the only thing you own, another one says Pinterest is gaining momentum, or digital products are the future of blogging, whatever. And all of you guys start to carry all of those priorities at once. The problem is that when everything feels important, your brain stops knowing what to focus on. And unclear focus pretty much always creates procrastination.
Right. And this is why some bloggers spend their entire day working, but still feel behind in all the things at the end of the day. Because movement and progress are not always the same thing. I'm going to say that again. Movement and progress are not always the same. If your attention is split across 10 priorities, you usually don't stay with one long enough to create meaningful momentum. You were busy, but you weren't productive.
Yeah. Fly Lady made a fortune off of this concept here. Focus on the one thing. Get the sink shiny. And once you're good at that, and that's happening, put your shoes on, right? Narrowing that focus Yeah. So let's talk about the fix, because this is where things start to feel much lighter. And here you go. You ready? Just what I talked about with Fly Lady. Forced prioritization. It's not trying harder. It's not even looking at the entire kitchen, right? It's not waking up earlier. It's not downloading another productivity app. It's a
Mhm.
much smaller list of active priorities. Clean the sink,
Yep.
put on the shoes.
One of the healthiest questions that you can ask yourself is, what actually moves my business forward most right now? We did a whole video talking about the seasons that we're in, right? That's what this is. Not what's going to move your business eventually, not what's going to move your business theoretically, not what feels exciting, like, oh, she's working on Etsy, I'm going to work on Etsy. What creates the biggest movement in this season? And generally, most business tasks fall into one of three categories for us bloggers, and that is traffic, revenue, and long-term growth. Okay.
So, for example, if your blog has very little traffic right now, and okay, I hate to tell you that, you might think it's great that you have great traffic because you worked hard to get to where you're at. But if you're not in a top tier ad network, then you don't have great traffic. So that's important. Your highest leverage work is going to be publishing searchable content consistently, shareable content consistently, content, content, content. If you already have traffic, but very little monetization, right? Now we need to diversify. We need to improve those email funnels. We need to create more products or go the affiliate route, like either one or the other, not both at the same time. Pick a lane. Maybe your audience is really weak. Maybe they're constantly overturning. That's called churn. You have lots and lots of traffic churn or audience churn. Then maybe your focus needs to be on deeper audience connection, building that trust, making them want to be you and live your life, right? But the important thing is that not all priorities deserve equal weight at the same time.
And this is where procrastination starts decreasing because clarity reduces the mental resistance. So when your brain knows this is the primary thing that I'm focused on in this season, okay, Facebook bonus, Etsy, email, whatever it is, decision making gets dramatically easier. I could have very easily added Etsy to my plate, but I didn't because I'm working on something else. My priority in this season is different. You stop waking up every morning trying to reinvent your priorities from scratch over and over again.
Yeah. And honestly, this is what a lot of really successful bloggers do well. They're not necessarily doing more than everyone else. They're just more focused. They stay with those priorities longer. They don't constantly switch directions every few days or every few weeks because another strategy suddenly sounds more exciting. That consistency is what allows momentum to build. If the snowball stops every mile, it's not going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
It has to continue rolling down the hill.
Mm-hmm. Because the truth is, most bloggers do not need more tasks added to their plate. They need clearer filters for deciding what actually matters right now.
So,
okay,
here's something you can do this week if your brain feels overloaded. Write down everything that you feel pressure on, every platform, every new shiny thing, every strategy, every unfinished project, all of the things. Write them all down, brain dump them, get them out of your head onto paper or type them in a Google Doc, and then sit down and beside every item ask, does this primarily impact traffic, revenue, or long-term growth?
And then I want you to ask yourself one more question. If I focus deeply on one of these areas for the next 90 days, which could create the biggest movement in my business? And that answer becomes your primary focus, not forever, just for this season, guys. And what usually happens is your brain immediately starts calming down because it finally has clear direction. Because what is taking up your mental space is all the decision making that you have to make.
Yeah. If everything has been feeling important lately, I want you to hear this. Your prioritization is not coming from laziness. sorry, your procrastination. Let me say that again since I messed it up. Your procrastination is not coming from laziness. It's coming from too many competing priorities fighting for your attention at the same time.
And the fix is not doing more. The fix is reducing decision overload by getting brutally clear about what matters the most right now in this season, right this minute, because clarity creates focus. Focus creates momentum, and momentum is usually what helps procrastination finally start losing its grip on you, because it has a grip on you right now. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This series is going to be amazing. There's more to come. We've already got some videos that should be in the playlist that you can watch as well. So if you didn't watch the last one, go do that now. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.